Good evening to everybody. This is the International Human Rights class that I'm going to deal the class today on virtual, and the participant, please Karibu Sana for hearing my class. And today that I would like to teach, before I could proceed further, I would like to see that what I posted on the screen. Anyone can unmute and read. Yes, anyone can unmute and read. Are you hearing me? Participants? Okay, I myself will read because I think there is a Matanda problem for you, it seems. There is internet problem, it seems. That's why I myself will read. What is the relationship between the human rights and the human development? Why I have taken this topic means this, I put it there in the test also. That is the question 2, critically examine the relationship between the human rights and the human development. For that regard, that I would like to throw light on it, and that is the reason that I took this topic today to deal. The human development, first bullet, human development and human rights are close enough in the motivation and concern to be compatible and congruous. Anyone can tell me that what is the congruous? Do you have an idea? If you don't know it, just you can say pass on. I will give the answer for that. Congruous means in harmony, in agreement or harmony, we can say. And they are different enough in strategy and design. But a little strategy is different for the development and the human rights, and the design is different to supplement each other's fruitfully. So it is interlinked one way in another way, because where both are the two rungs of the same ladder. Rungs in the sense which is in the middle where you can keep the feet. With that first rung, second rung, third rung, fourth rung, then you will reach the top rung. RUNG rung for the ladder. Because two vertical posts are there. In the horizontal posts are said to be the rung. RUNG rung. Okay? Is it clear? Okay, now I proceed. The second bullet is, according to the Human Development Report, there is the 2000, and the sub bullet is, human rights and development both aims to promote well-being and freedom based on the inherent dignity and the equality of the people. So this is the development of the Human Rights Development Report, where they have given this one of the bullet. The second bullet is, the concern of the human development is the realization by all of basic freedoms, such as having the choice to meet bodily requirement or to escape preventable diseases. This is regarding the health is concerned. And the third bullet, sub-bullet is, human rights and human development share a preoccupation with the necessary outcome for improving the people's lives, but also with the better process. So they are interlinked because human development would be there, and with the development, human rights will be protected, and human rights are there, the development to come. So they are interlinked. So without one, the another will not be made, and that's why that it is said in the first bullet, it is a supplement each other fruitfully. And the last being people-centered, they reflect a fundamental concern with institution, policies, and process as a participatory and comprehensive in coverage as possible, respecting the agency of all individuals. So that would be the relationship would be there, and where a strategy is a bit different and a design is a bit different. But without each other, it will not be fruitful. So that is the actually that would like to deal with the today class. Okay, now let us see the other aspect of it also. Yes, let us see the linkage. Relationship between the development and the human rights. What is the linkage would be there? I hope that you could see my screen. Is it? Say yes or no. Because I magnified to the 150%. Yes, I magnified to the 150%. Okay, now let me say it. So in the left hand side, there is a logo. The linkage between means the other thing is, I told you what is the horizontal 3 dash. Horizontal 3 dash, what do you call it? We discussed it. It mostly comes in the quotations. Ellipsis. 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 That is a horizontal 3 dots. The other thing is missing over there, which is not essential or necessary to deal here. So in the left hand side is human development, and in the right hand side the human rights. So how it can be there? Without the human rights, without the human development, there would not be human right. Or the human right should have to link with the human development. If the development is not there, there is no meaning of the right would be given to a person. Let us see what is the first bullet says in both the ways. The first column is human development. The second column is human rights. So now the first bullet is process of enhancing the people's capabilities. Development you will see is the enhancing the people's capabilities, calibers, status, in any way, economic development, social development, political development, capabilities. So enhancing, it will enhance in the human development. Come to the same parallel human rights column, claims to be protected from the abuses and deprivations. So when the rights are there, claim to be protected, they will be protected from what? From abuses, from torture, and the human rights violations, and the deprivation of their rights, losing their rights. So that is the human rights would be there. The second bullet is expand the choices and opportunities. So in the development are there, the choices are more and the opportunities are more to develop themselves. When you come to the second, the human rights, secure the freedom of for their life and dignity. Here the right of security of the freedom means one can travel anywhere in the world, because now world is a hamlet, small hamlet. Morning you will take the tiffin in the, I told you the morning the breakfast in the Kenya, and the lunch in the Tanzania, and the dinner in Uganda. So one can reach over there unless until the process should be fulfilled, or that is like a visa. Yes, for the East African community, I don't think that they need a visa. They can travel in among all the East African countries, including the now Congo also there, Republic of Congo. Earlier it will be known as, anyone? Earlier the name of the country will be known as, anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Zaire, Zaire, Zaire. It will be known as Zaire. Okay, now let us go to the third bullet is concerned. Yes, now I will drag it. Yes, third bullet, lead a life of respect and value. So there would be a respect would be there, and a value would be there, and a status would be there in the human development. From lower strata to the upper strata. We can, in other words, say scrap to the elevated place. And similarly, on the column of the human rights, requires the capacity that development makes it possible. Here requires the capacity. Here I can see there they use the capabilities. Human development under there capabilities used over there, and here it is used the capacity and the human rights. Require the capacity that development makes possible. It will give the space it to development makes possible. This is the linkage between the human development and human rights. Okay, now let us see the any other. Yes, there is another also. It is there. Yes, the human rights and human development, a vision of the 21st century. How it will be there? What is the vision would be there? So on 10th December 1948, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted a proclaimed the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights, and this is the mother of international human rights law. The first charter made by the UN. The second point is human rights and human development share a common purpose and motivation. The common purpose is there and the motivation is there to secure what? Freedom, well-being, dignity for every human being. So one should not be treated as a low, the another should not be treated as a high, because the rule of law will prevail over there. All will be the equal under the law, in the eye of the law. So the secure the freedom, yes, a man can travel, fly anywhere he likes it, provided certain conditions be fulfilled of the particular country where they want to fly, and well-being, and he wants to have a dignity over there, well-being, and people should have to not beat him, not make a slave, not treated him ill, and all these things, well-being and dignity for every human being. Here, they say human being means even Even the fetals also becomes a human person, it will be there. But here the human being means either man or woman, and a man who will existed over there. Of course, I don't want to go for the human being definition here. For the human beings, it is generally say the people. Sir, can you say the human being as an animal also? Okay, let us see the different task. Whether the animals also come in the human being or not. Because they also need the protection. And nobody will kill in Tanzania giraffe. Am I right? Because it is said to be the, yes, anyone can unmute and give me the answer. It is said to be I believe the national animal, if I not be mistaken, subject to the correction. Okay, now the last bullet is states. Here states means countries. And who are the parties to the declaration, treaty, charter, and the bilateral, multilateral, such a thing would be there. Treaties are there, and where they are the members, and their signatories and ratified in the domestic laws, domesticated the international instruments in the municipal laws. So such states bear a primary duty. It is a state responsibility. It is a state burden, and it is a duty lies on the states, a primary duty to safeguard and promote human rights. So here safeguard and promote human rights, that means achieving the goal. And when these things are there, with the development only, these things will be possible over there. Otherwise, it will not be possible. That's why it is a close linkage between one to another. It is stated in the earlier slide. Okay, the linkage between, again, here the left-hand side, the logo of the UNO, and the linkage, again, they made it very much clear how the linkage would be here. And can anyone unmute and read what is the linkage? Participants, anyone can unmute and read? Yes. I am sure that you are not a student of the International Human Rights Law. You all Samuel, are you interested to hear my lecture? Because I could see you on my screen. Unmute and speak. If you don't unmute, I could not hear your voice. But you are speaking, I could not hear your voice. Are you my student of International Human Rights Law? Because I did not say this whole Samuel name. Please speak.
Yes.
Your name is Samuel. Are you my student?
Yes, I'm your student.
But you are joined with some other name, Samuel.
Yeah, my name is Yori Samuel.
But you never attended my class, and this is the first time that I could see you. Student of where?
LLB 2.
This is the class for the International Human Rights class. This is. Anyway, if you are interested, you can listen my class. Okay? This is a class for the masters, LLM. Is it clear? Okay, if you are interested, I don't mind, you can hear my class. Okay, let us come to the point here.
Yes.
Yes, you can continue it. Here, the linkage of the human rights goes in this way. In the left-hand column, that you can say the human development. In the right column, you can say human rights. Without the developments, we cannot achieve the human rights. That is a very important factor. Because if any country would be either a financially good or economic development would be there for any country, don't give the money to the people and give the good education. If you give the good education, they will know how to live the life and how to earn the money and how to get the food. So that is the reason, is the process of enhancing here I'm showing the cursor under the human development, is the process, it's a long-standing process of enhancing, again, they say, promoting the people's capabilities, just you read in the other slide also, to expand the choices, what are the choices to be there, and opportunities, so that each person can lead a life of respect and value. If there is no choice, naturally, one cannot lead a good life. When the choice is there, yes, we can make it out. Otherwise, it becomes a compulsory for them. That is the first bullet in the left-hand side. Under the human rights, all people, my cursor is here, all people have a claims. What claims? To social arrangement that protect them from the worst abuses. Yes, one should not be abuse anybody. One should not have to even wink on anybody, because that should cause a different sign. It is nothing but seducing a person, or we can say the bullying the person, or bullying in another way. So here the protect them from the worst abuses and deprivation, and that secure the freedom of life and dignity. So security of their life or their dignity, it comes under the human rights. That is the right would be there. And the article also says in the first declaration of the first charter of the 1948, it clearly mentioned equality before law, the equal protection of the laws, and no one can be ill-treated depending upon their caste, creed, race, skin, region, and etc. Because they are all human beings, including the disabled person, including the gays also. So now next bullet is then the human development is freedom and dignity. Needs the legal guarantee of human rights to avoid the being threatened. So freedom and dignity, when you want to get it, it should be guaranteed by the human rights. There should be a right which will be guaranteed over there. Then one can achieve it to avoid the being threatened. And then under the human rights column, we can say that the realization of the human rights require the capacity that. So one cannot have the rights without the development, or one cannot have the development without the rights. They are interwoven, and they are supplement to each other. Is it clear? And I could see the
Yes.
Fortunata Medasi. And are you also a second year LLB student? Say yes or no. And this is the class for the international human rights law. But anyway, it doesn't matter. If you want to hear me, you can hear it. Okay? Because
Yes.
I could see the three people are there: Fortunata Medasi and the Mahiga Jordan Sampson LLB, Yoel Samuel, all would be the second semester. Say yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are you
Yes, sir.
following my accent? Are you following my accent?
Yes.
I appreciate. So here I am dealing today the class for the LLM, that is the international human rights law. What would be the relationship between the development and the human rights? So that is the thing that we want to deal today. The convention is a human rights instrument with an explicit social development dimensions. So if any right would be there in the international law, either there should be a convention or a treaty or a declaration or a protocol where the members would be agreed together. So that is a convention is a human rights instrument with an explicit social development dimensions. Why they would need such a thing? Because they want the security, the free life, liberty. Nobody should have to violate their rights. That's why in the world, it is made only after the World War II. And that is the reason UNO is formed over there. That's the reason we could not now expect the Third World War, except say some of the countries will, like the Ukraine is there and Russia is there, where they between made it, but it's not a world war. It is between the only two countries. When the world war says, all the other allies should be one side, the other partners should be other countries are another side. So they will make it a war, like a First World War, Second World War would be there. So that is why all those things, because people want the security and people want their rights, and nobody would have to abuse their rights. That is actually the meaning of it. Okay, let us come to the point. The cursor shows here. It reaffirms that all persons here with all types, including the type of disabilities, must enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms on an equal basis with others. So there is not been any distinction. I don't know whether you know it or not. How many genders are there? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. If you don't know, you can just say pass on. I will give the answer. Yes. Micah Jordan, how many genders are there? Gender. Yes. I think your internet is not that much powerful, it seems, because I could heard the break of voice. Repeat. Sir, male and female, women and man, or girl and boy. These are only two genders. There is a third gender is there. Could you know it? If you don't know it, you say pass on. If you know it, you can give me the answer. Transgender. This is the third gender, transgender. They are also be equally treated over there. Because like a female, not female, they are the man, but doesn't have the capabilities, but the features of a woman would be there. We can say, I don't know what you say in Kiswahili. What do you say in Kiswahili, such a people? Eval Samuel, transgender.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What do you say, such a people? They look like a man, but they didn't have the capacity for the sexual intercourse. And their behavior like a woman. What do you call such a people? In English, we will say Inuch, E-N-U-C-H. What do you say in Kiswahili?
Just in Swahili lacks clear words to justify.
No, there is a particular word would be there, no? Even, because there is a male and female is there, and the Inuks, they look like they are man, they are the man, but they do have the qualities of a woman, and their organ will not function well for the BBC, body to body contact. Okay, let us see that. So there are an estimated 650 million persons living with the disabilities in the world today. Not only this, women, children, even the old age people, everybody needs the fundamental rights and human rights. They would not be abused over there. Can you tell me how many countries are there now in the world which are the members of the UN? Any idea do you have? Whether Tanzania is one of the countries?
I don't know.
Tanzania is one of the country which is the member of the UN in other charters.
Yes.
Answer is yes.
Yes.
In many, not one,
Yes.
many. Okay, let us see. If one includes the members of their family, there are approximately 2 billion of people who are directly affected with the disabilities, representing almost a third of the world's population. Not only these disabilities, even if people who are having the HIV and AIDS, even they should not be discriminated. Are you following me? Say yes. Say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I appreciate.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course, those who are having such a disease will be there. Okay, you should not have a relation, that is a sexual intercourse, that is called in other way body to body contact. Okay, thus a person with disabilities represents a significant overlooked development challenges, and ensuring the equality of the rights and access of these persons will have an enormous impact on the social and economic situations in a country around the world. Let me ask you one question. In your class, any person who is a disabled person who comes on the wheelchair to the class? Yes, give me the answer. Is there any student in your class
Yes.
who is a disabled and who could not walk, and he comes and attends the class on wheelchair? On wheelchair, WHEER, wheel CHAIR, chair, wheelchair. Answer is yes.
Yes, they appear.
Okay. For them, they cannot move the wheelchair in the steps. Ngazi. For them, what is the facility for them to move the wheelchair? Yes.
Can you repeat?
See, the wheelchair cannot be moved on the steps. Ngazi in Kiswahili, you say. Is it the steps are in Ghazi?
Yes.
For them,
Yes, yes.
what would be the arrangement made by the university? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. I will give the answer. Don't waste the time.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I will show you the type of the thing which is there. And if I say
Yes.
REMP ramp, you could not know it. If I show the image, you could know it. Image, ramp image I am showing. See, this is called ramp. You see, there are no steps. It is a sliding one from lower
Yes,
to the
yes.
upper. So a wheelchair can move from here. Suppose if it is steps, it cannot be moved. So ramps are constructed over there. RAMP ramp. This is called a slope from lower to upper will go it. And if you walk on the steps, the high energy would be there for every person. But if you walk on the ramp, a less energy will be used over there. So if you want that a less energy will be made, better you use the ramp instead of the steps. Is it clear? Say yes or no.
Yes.
I appreciate.
Yes, sir.
Good. So here are the convention of the tools for the development of the Article 32 and international cooperation of the conventions highlighted the pragmatic, means practical, and action-oriented measures to be undertaken by the state parties to undertake and support the inclusive development. Suppose if a person who goes on the wheelchair, can't he be eligible for the, if he is having the required qualification, can't he will be, or he or she will be eligible for the employment in Tanzania or anywhere in the world? Answer is
Under the world. Yes.
yes. He could be employed over there because he sits on the wheelchair
Okay.
or on the office chair and he does the table work, stagnant work. Such a light work, stagnant work will be given to such a person would be there. Like calling a receptionist, of course, not a receptionist, because most of the receptionists are ARER. Yes, please give me the answer.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it is a simple question, logical question. Receptionist always women, and that to be Mrambo in Kiswahili. Mrembo, Mrambo. A beautiful
Rainbow.
would be the receptionist. Are you following me?
Oh.
Say
Yes.
Very good. So, even a disabled person who could not get a walk also, I saw the people, they are the lecturers. And they are the, I saw in the hospital also, they are the people, they are giving the treatment to the patients by sitting on the office chair. So equal opportunity should be given to them. That is a very important factor. Is it clear?
Yes.
So because the Article 32 also clearly states the development program should be inclusive, accessible person with the disabilities. This represents a radical shift, a practical shift within the development community. It identifies the disability as a mainstream issue be considered in all programming rather than a standalone thematic issues. Now I will ask the question, did you see any person who is an advocate or a lawyer and who is a dumb, deaf and blind?
Yes, yes.
Did you see such a lawyer who is a dumb
Yes, sir.
and cannot see and cannot hear?
I see them.
You saw. Can you show me such a person anywhere who could not speak, who could not see, who could not hear, and he will be a lawyer and an advocate?
Yeah, yeah. Are they around?
In the lawyer's quality, a person should have to speak, he should listen, his all senses should be good. But you might have seen a lawyer, might be, I don't know where whether the Bar Council will allow such a person to be enrolled as an advocate or not. Anyway, let us see the Tanganyika Law Society's bylaws, whether the Kipofu, then Boo Boo,
Not, I don't know.
generally they will not be enrolled as an advocate because quality of the advocates, 3 senses should be nice. But if you want to be a lecturer, okay, you can be lecturer even though you are a blind Kipofu, because they could have the braille and their scripts will be read by a software and they will make the correction also. Okay, let us see that what I want to say is each one will have a right to treatment equally. So that is the assurance will be given by these charters. So now let us see the protecting and promoting human rights. Which come first? Protecting first and promoting come first. Answer is protecting first. When the protection is not there, we cannot promote it. So protecting and promoting human rights with a limited resources in recognition of the resource limitation that many government face in implementing the human rights law. Of course, there are the dignitaries, they are the signatories and they ratified it, but sometimes they don't implement it because of the various other factors, mostly the political factors. Many aspects implementing the conventions will be a progressive process. Of course, now people are aware of their rights and they want to file a case in the competent court if any violations should be there, if any high-handedness of the even a police or the defense or any executive or any person in the subject of that country. At that instant, state will take an action against him who is a perpetrator. Is it clear? Say yes or no. Do you know what is perpetrator? Perpetrator. Yes? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. A person who does the illegal thing, especially the criminal activity, that is called a perpetrator. So all disability must be taken into account when they're moving forward with the implementation. International cooperation will be helpful in supporting the process and resources will have to be prioritized, means given the preference according to the reasonable and objective criteria. So that would be the idea. The state should have to come to the rescue of the subjects, and if any violation is there, human rights violation, abuse is there, it is the state which should have to take into consideration. And that is the reason we do have the Human Rights Commission is there. I don't know, do you have an idea that where is the Human Rights Commission in Tanzania? Yes, anyone? What is the Human Rights Commission in Tanzania? Office I am speaking. Please give me the answer. Now only Michigan is left over there. Mahiga Jordan, are you hearing me? If you are hearing me, can you give the reply? It is there in Dar es Salaam. It is there in Dodoma. Do you know that one person from the south, Mwanza, a teaching staff from law, working in the Human Rights Commission? Yes. Do you know a staff from the south, and that to be Sharia, working in the Human Rights Commission? Karibu sana Sadat Shukuru to my online class of the International Human Rights Law. Yes, he is a person whose name is Thomas Masanja. Dr. Thomas Masanja, he is working now and he will be back in September soon. Okay, now let us see what are the other conditions are meant over there. Mainstreaming disability in the development agenda. Why only disability? Even for the women and children. Of course, children means under the age of below the age of the 18, they should not be employed over there because it leads to the bonded labor. And 14 years up to that extent, the free education should be given by the state. That is the condition would be there. And I don't know, I think in the Tanzania also there is a free education for the children. Is it or not? Sir, up to Shulay Misingi. No, even the university also that you are getting the stipend in one way, in another way, or they are not helping, the state is not helping for a promotion of your education. Answer is yes. So mainstreaming disability in the development agenda is a strategy for achieving the equality for persons with disabilities, whatever the disabilities would be there. Governments and international organizations, they should have take organizations of a person with disabilities and other civil society organizations are working with a renewed vigor towards the goal of equality following the adoption of the Convention of the Right of Persons with Disabilities in December 2006. So there is a convention also been made. There is a convention, name is Convention on the Rights of the Person with Disabilities. It is in 2006. It is made. How do you read it? 2006 in other words? Anyone? How do you read it? 2006. Is it or not? Yes? Maiga, are you hearing me? Even I could not see the Sadat Shukuru microphone. But the Professor Hussain will not read in that way. Professor Hussein's students will read 2006. I repeat, 2006. That is the style of Professor Hussein's reading. So here about the everything given about the disabilities, not only the disability persons, even the women who are also given the priority if she is having the qualification for any job. Now we could see the woman is a pilot. Did you see a woman is a pilot? Yes, the women are also became a pilot. Okay, so a woman will equal treatment should be given over there when human rights conventions where the Tanzania is a party or a state is a party or who are the members of the convention of such a convention would be there, then they should follow the bylaws and the rules and regulation of the conventions. Suppose if any state will not follow it or if they violated it, there would be a sanction. What sanction? Transport sanction or the visa sanction. They will not allow it. Any economic sanction, no export and import. Diplomatic relations will be curtailed over there. If it is needed over there, they send the peacekeeping force for the stopping such a violations in a particular state, which are the members of the convention or the treaty. So given that persons with disabilities represent such a significant portion of the population and are more likely to give the poverty that their peers without the disabilities. Of course, poverty also plays a role because the people will lack of the education because of the poverty. Of course, free education will be given with the government up to the 14 years. So naturally from there we should have to make a development. And there are many foundations are there which will sponsor the candidate to do the higher education. So they are all integrated in all. Here my cursor is, yes. I think there is some.
Sorry, sir. Can
Yeah,
I
please.
ask you a question?
Yes, please ask the question. Yes, ask.
Can you tell me the challenges that face the people with disability in Tanzania? Maybe in employment opportunity or economic activity or social activities.
Because generally the constitution also guaranteed the child free education. Is it or not in Tanzania? But in India it is there. Up to the 14 years, a child will be given a free education.
Yes.
But what about the position in Tanzania? Up to Shuri, I am missing.
In Tanzania, in primary school there is a free education, and the secondary school up to Form 1 to Form 4.
But in a CHU also you are getting the sponsorship from the government.
In university there is no free education.
Not free education, but the government is giving the money for you to study either 60%, 80%, or 40%, depending upon your economic condition, financial condition.
They give us through loan.
Yes, either you say scholarship or loan, whatever it may be. Of course, scholarship means free. Loan means you have to reimburse it. That is the difference.
But we have to pay back after
Yeah,
finishing
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
education.
But they are coming to the rescue at least to reach a particular position. That means state is enhancing your capabilities. State is enhancing your dignity. State is enhancing your status. Is it or not? It is a development. And this development, where you will get it? Yes, after reaching a particular point, then you say you have a right. The state should come to the rescue. Is it or not? Suppose somebody
Yes.
will beats you, strike you without any legal justification. Then where do you approach? You approach to the police station to give the complaint. And the police station run by the state. That's where state comes to your rescue or not. If there any abuse is there, violation is there. Answer is yes. The state comes to the rescue.
Yes.
It is a responsibility of
Yes.
the state to take care of their subject, irrespective of the caste and creed. You see, myself, I'm an expatriate. I'm not a citizen of Tanzania. I'm only the resident of
Yes.
Tanzania. I'm not a domicile of Tanzania. But if anybody beats me,
Yes.
I can give the complaint to the police. The state will come to the rescue of me because I'm the subject I'm serving over here with the permission of the
Yes.
government, because the permission who given in the form of a visa. So if you are a citizen or you are not a citizen, but you are a human being, and the
Yes.
human being should have been given where he was living or residing, and the state should come to his rescue. And if anything complaint will be there, the state will come to my rescue, even though I am not a citizen, but I am a resident, because the government has given me the work permit, the government has given me the residence permit. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Not only the state, because the state agencies are there, special agencies are there, they're also taking care of it. Like one of the agency is Human Rights Commission. But I asked the one question, one staff from the south is working in the Human Rights Commission in Tanzania. And I don't know whether you know it or not. From the Sharia, from the law.
Shiragi. There is Shiragi, Human
No,
Rights Commissioner in Tanzania.
no, his name is Dr. Thomas Masanja. Of course.
You mean you mean a person that work in one of the Human Rights Commission Tanzania?
Yes, he is now presently working the Human Rights Commission in Tanzania. Then I asked him, sir, why don't you give one lecture to us, our student? Then he said he agreed. But let us see that how could I arrange it, a lecture for the international human rights law for the master students. Because we do mostly theoretically, but he will deal mostly practical way. Because there are courts are there. After if any violation should be there, the courts, the competent court will there. If you are not happy by the court, in Arusha there is a court is there, which will
Yes.
take up the cases of the human rights.
Yes, East Africa Court of Justice.
Yes. So where the people say they give the decision, yes, it will be implemented. The state should have to implement such a decision which is given by the court. Otherwise, the court becomes a futile. The decision became a futile, tortuous. No, what is the use of a right which doesn't have the execution of a machinery would be there. So in other words, the person with the disabilities or any person, either the woman or a child, they have the rights. From the rights starts from cradle, CRADLE, cradle to the grave, or from mother's womb, 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 to tomb, till the death graveyard, TOMB, tomb. Yes, the rights are there, and everywhere a person will be protected over there. Even a fetus, there would be right. FOETUS, fetus in the womb of a mother, a woman. Even the fetus also is having a right over there. Of course, the viable at the time only when it is born alive, lived at least 48 hours. That's what the law says. So these are many rights are given by the human rights, and I will show you one. These are the core international human rights instruments. What are the instruments? International Convention on the Elimination of all Forms of Racial Discrimination, ICERD, 1965. Do you know what is ICERD? Is it an abbreviation? Is it an acronym? Is it a shortening? Is it a contraction? Yes. Now the 5 minutes are left over there.
It is I think it is a acronym.
No, it is not acronym because in abbreviations are 4 types. Abbreviations are 4 types. Number 1,
Yes.
it is a initialism like USA.
Initial letter.
We don't pronounce
Initial
as a
letter for the
USA.
first letter of the word.
It is a USA, means each word will be spoken. But South is there. SAUT, South. South is not an initialism because we will pronounce in one word. SAUT, all capital letters. South is an acronym. But ICERD is the only initialism. And the shortening means it is the first word of the letter will be capital letter, the rest of the letters are the small letter, and end with the full stop. Like February. How do you write the February in shortening form? Yes.
What?
How do
What?
you write month February, the second month of the year, in the shortening form? You don't write the full. Capital FEBURUARY, February. But in the shortened form, you write capital F, small e, B, full stop. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is called shortening. It is also abbreviation. But the last one is contraction. I can't. You cannot write I can't fully. I'll show you that.
Yes, sir.
You write I space